So in today's video, I'll be talking about how to get out of bad form, how to get out of a rut as a footballer now. We've all been there where, what's it called? Things are just not going our way, you understand? Things are just not going your way, you're just playing bad. You sort of don't know why you're playing bad, you understand? You're sort of thinking, yo, what's going on? How do I get out of this bad form? It might be you're a striker and you're missing big chances, you haven't scored a goal in 6 games. It might be you're a centre midfielder and you're just not being able to get a hold of the game. You're getting overrun in the midfield. You know what I'm saying? You're getting dispossessed way more than usual. Maybe you're a fullback, you're getting beat by a winger. Maybe you're a winger and you're just not having an impact on the game. You know what I'm saying? You're going out onto the pitch, and even though you might be getting the ball, but you're just not making that impact, you understand? You're not making that impact. Maybe you're getting subbed off early, you understand? And you're just sort of thinking you're just in a bad place. Maybe you've lost a bit of confidence as well, and you're just thinking like, yo, what's going on? You're trying to find the answer, you're trying to figure out like what's going on. And trust me, even me, I've been there. Especially, I remember the first time where it really happened to me, where I had like proper bad form. I was probably like 13 years old, and this was the first time that I'd ever sort of got dropped. So I was one of them guys where it's like I'd always start, and then things just started happening where it's like I was losing the ball. I wasn't having an impact on the game. I was getting dispossessed in the midfield, and I was thinking like, yo, what's actually going on? You understand? Then I remember the first time, the first ever game that happened, I got subbed off at halftime and I didn't come back on. And the thing is that when you're 13 and 14, it's roll on, roll off sub. So you might get subbed off after 20 minutes, but you're always gonna come back on. But me that day, I was so bad in that first half where it's like, yo, I came off and I didn't come back on. I was seeing guys coming off and going back on, but me, I was like, yo, I came off at halftime and I didn't come back on for the rest of the game. So like, yo, that I can't lie, that game was like, yo, confidence was shook. And then like for the next like 4 games, I started on the bench and I couldn't believe it. However, by using these steps that I'm going to teach you today, I managed to get through it. I managed to get through it. I remember this was like February time. Obviously the season ends in May. This was like February time. So like mid-February got dropped. The whole of March probably started on the bench. But then obviously April came back, got my place back, balled out. And then I remember I ended up winning player of the season that year. I think I won like player of the season. And then players player of the season, and then what was it, managers or parents player of the season, one of the two. I got 2 trophies that year, I remember. So literally today I'm going to be teaching you how to get out of that, out of that bad form. So yeah, let's get it. So the first thing you need to do is literally just analyze if anything has changed from your routine, in my opinion. Have you added any extra training sessions which may be causing you fatigue? Are you not sleeping enough? Have you just been eating trash for the last few weeks, or the last few days, last few weeks? Have you just been eating trash? You know what I'm saying? Have you maybe you've not been doing enough training, you understand? Maybe because obviously there's times where you're overtraining, and then there's times where you've just not been doing enough training, you know what I'm saying? So just think to yourself, yo, where am I going wrong? Have I changed anything? And obviously if you have changed anything, then just be like, yo, go back to your original routine. But if you haven't changed anything, then you might need to start, you know, adding certain things to your routine, you know what I'm saying? You might need to start, you know, adding something that can actually help you. Maybe you haven't changed anything to your routine, but there might be something you're lacking, you understand? So in my opinion, just go through this experiment, sort of experiment phase where you're just trying different things. You're trying different pre-game rituals, trying to see what gets you in the zone, trying to see what gets you on the pitch confident, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's that you need to go for a walk before the game. Maybe it's that before you travel to the game, maybe get up half an hour early and go. Maybe if it's in your garden, if you have a garden, or go to like your local park and then get your touches in beforehand. Maybe just getting your touches in beforehand just sort of gives you that confidence, sort of just calms you down. You know, you've got your feel for the ball even before everyone else, so maybe that gives you a competitive edge. I don't know. I remember I used to do that as well, where it's like when I was in bad form, I literally just go and just get my touches in, just spend 20 minutes, half an hour, just go get my touches in. And in my mind, I'll be like, yo, I've got a competitive edge. Like I'd tell myself, yo, I'm already warm, you know what I'm saying? You know, you're doing the warm up with your team, and you're just thinking, yo, I'm already warm, I've already touched the ball today, you know what I'm saying? I feel good. And then I'd go out onto the pitch and, you know, and actually perform. So I've done that as well. Maybe you want to try that technique as well, where it's like, yo, you just go out there, for 20 minutes before you travel to wherever you need to play, before you travel to the actual game. Spend that 20 minutes, spend that 30 minutes just, you know what I'm saying, just getting your touches in. Nothing too crazy, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you break a bit of a sweat, but nothing, you know, nothing too crazy. I'm not telling you to, you know, absolutely go 100% intensity, but just I solid 50 on, you know what I'm saying, just getting your touches in, just getting a feel for that ball, just gaining that confidence, just giving you that mental edge, that competitive edge before the game. But yeah, that's the first point. You just analyze if you've changed anything. If you have changed anything, change it back to what it was originally. Change it back to the times where you're having a good game. If you haven't changed anything and you feel like, yo, something's not right, just start experimenting with stuff. Take something out, add things in, and just see what sort of works for you. Just be patient and just do that experiment phase where you're adding things in, finding out what works for you, finding out what puts you in the correct state of mind to, you know, actually go out there and perform at your best. Now the next point is for those players who are sort of seen as one of the best players on their team, in my opinion. If you're known as one of the best players on your team and you feel like you're absolutely drowning out there, you feel like you're absolutely just dropping stinkers left, right and centre, in my opinion, you should do this. It may hurt your ego. You might not want to do it in front of the team. You might just want to pull your coach to the side and be like, hey, yo, coach, like, yo, I'm stinking the place out. I can't. Like, you don't even have to say you're stinking the place out. You just might have to say to coach, like, yo, coach, like, next game, can I like start on the bench? You know what I'm saying? Start on the bench and then come on. Because in my opinion, I've seen professional managers try to do this with players as well, but it just doesn't work, in my opinion. Where, you know, when a manager just refuses to bench a player and the manager just says, oh, I'm just going to keep playing him until he gets back into form. In my opinion, that really doesn't work, because I've seen it with, like, I remember when Ten Hag was the Man United manager and he tried doing that with Rashford. Rashford was stinking the place out and Ten Hag was like, yo, I'm not going to drop him. I'm just going to keep playing him until he gets back into form. But the thing is when you do that, the player's confidence is already shot, you know what I'm saying? Your confidence right now, if you're going for a bad period, is already short, so you're still not going to feel like yourself. You might be playing games, starting games, but it's just going to become a repetitive cycle, because the more games you play, the more stinkers you have, the more your confidence is going to drop. So in my opinion, just if your coach just refuses to drop you, just pull him to the side and be like, yo, let me just start on the bench for a few games, and then sort of rebuild the confidence from there. Because obviously in my story, the example I used, my coach just did it anyway. I didn't really have to ask him, you understand? He just sort of saw that, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't playing well, so he just sort of benched me anyway. And then from there, when I was getting my half an hour, my 20 minutes, my half an hour, my 40 minutes, you know what I'm saying, coming on at half time, I was able to, you know, just sort of rebuild from there, just sort of, you know, get my confidence back up, get my touches back up. Because deeper, if you, let's say you come on for 20 minutes and you have a good 20 minutes, then you're thinking, alright, cool, 20 minutes, you know, I got the ball, I made let's say I made like 8 or 9 passes, completed 2 dribbles, had a shot on goal. Then you can take momentum from there, you know what I'm saying? Even though you only played 20, you can take momentum from there. Because it's a new role, it's a different role. It puts less pressure on your shoulders, because you feel like you have less responsibility compared to you playing 90 minutes all the time. If you're playing 90 minutes all the time, you feel a certain level of responsibility. And when your confidence is low, you sort of don't want that responsibility, you understand? You find yourself, you're scared to show for the ball, you understand? Maybe you're a winger and you're just not confident in taking on your man. You get the ball and you play negatively, you play backwards, you understand? So literally just, in my opinion, if a coach is just not dropping you, just tell him, yo, let me just, next 1 or 2 games, let me just start off the bench, let me just rebuild this confidence and let me just get back out there, you know? It's a different frame of mindset, it's less responsibility. You can kind of look at yourself as like a super sub, you know, come on and make impact, less pressure. You're coming off the bench for 20-25 minutes, yo, just go make an impact. You've got nothing to lose, you understand? Because like I said, I just feel like this sort of whole thing about, you know what I'm saying, just keep playing until, you know, it'll come, you know, the manager will be like, oh, it's fine, he's one of our best players, just keep playing, it's gonna eventually come. Where it's like, yo, you just need to take him out of the lineup for a few games, you know what I'm saying, just take him out of the lineup for a few games, give him less responsibility, and then when he feels ready to come back and take on that responsibility that he did before, then he's going to come back a better player, you understand? So in my opinion, like I said, it's going to hurt your ego, you might not want to do it, but if you're seriously drowning out there, if you're seriously, you know, just having stinkers, let's say like 5 stinkers in a row, and I feel like you can have 5 stinkers in a row, if your confidence is still there, if you still feel confident, then you can skip this step. But if you feel like your confidence is actually getting shot and you're honest with yourself, then, yo, in my opinion, I'll just say, yo, Hopefully your coach sees it himself and he just takes you out the starting lineup 1 or 2 games for you to build your confidence. But if he's not doing it and you're stinking the place out, just be like, yo, I need to start on the bench for a few games just to rebuild it. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, not 1 or 2 or 3 games. But what's it called? Not 4, 5 or 6 games, but maybe 1 or 2. And I know as well, there's a fear as a player where it's like, what's it called? Because I remember I was fearful of this as well. I was like, yo, what if I go to the bench and then the guy who replaces me absolutely balls out? You know what I'm saying? Absolutely balls out. I know that's a fear as a footballer, and I get, but let's be honest. If you're drowning out there, trust me, once you get that confidence back, and you just have to have this mentality of like, yo, me at my best, I'm way better than this guy at his best. You understand? So once you take those 1 or 2 or 3 games off, and you're back at your best, you're balling out in training. You're the best player at training. The coach is gonna be like, alright, cool, he's back, he's ready now. Like yo, let's get him in. And then once you actually get that first full 90 minutes in, man of the match performance, and then you've got your place back. You understand? So just back yourself. Just have that confidence in yourself that you'll be able to get your place back. Get your place back no matter what. Especially if you're already considered one of the guys on your team. You know what I'm saying? So that's the second point. Literally, just if your coach ain't doing it, just ask your coach to take you out the firing line 1 or 2 games. Build that confidence, and then use training as well to get that confidence up. To, show your coach that, okay, cool, 1 or 2 games was enough. Now I'm ready to get back into the starting lineup. So yeah, that's the second point. And then the last point is a mindset thing. So what I mean by this is that you just have to have the mindset of, yo, form is temporary, class is permanent. Like this, you just have to tell yourself, this isn't a reflection of who I am. I'm just going through a bad moment and it's cool. And another mindset you have to have is that, yo, it's cool. Like I feel like every player, has to have a bad phase, and you should be grateful for that bad phase, because that bad phase, you're gonna learn a lot from that bad phase, so that when it actually happens again, you know how to deal with it better. You understand? So literally, if it's your first time going through a really rough patch and you've had like 6 bad games in a row, as soon as you come out of that bad phase, trust me, you're probably gonna look back and be thankful for that, because you're gonna be like, yo, I learned a lot from that. I learned what I need to do. I've developed new game routines. I've improved my game routines on how to get into the zone better as a footballer. And then even let's say the next time, let's say 4 months down the line, that you feel that bad form coming up again. You feel like, oh, I'm going through one of those ruts, bro. Now, because you've already gone through the fire, because you've gone through your 6 or 7 bad games, now you know how to deal with it. Now after one bad game, you can recenter yourself and be like, alright, cool, I've done this before. I know how to prevent me going on a 6-7 game bad run. I have one bad game, boom. Next game, man of the match performance. Next game, I'm back. Or next game, I go from, let's say you had a bad game, you dropped a 2 out of 10, next game 5 out of 10, and the next game you're back to your 9 out of 10, you're back to your best. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, once you're going through those moments, just have that mentality of like, yo, form that class is permanent, that you're a good player. It's hard in those moments where you're lacking confidence. You're thinking, oh, like you're reluctant to receive the ball. You're reluctant to do certain things, and maybe as a centre midfield, you're reluctant to play those through balls down the line, play those killer passes. Maybe as a winger, you're reluctant to take on that man. Maybe as a striker, you're hesitating on shooting in certain areas. But you just have to be like, yo, this is no reflection of who I am. Just tell yourself that you'll be back, and just be like, yo, in these bad periods, I'm gonna learn from it. I'm gonna be a better player in the long run anyway. So just have that mentality of like, yo, when bad things happen to you, just be like, yo, it's making me a better player. It's teaching me lessons, because we've all had that expression where it's like, you don't learn from when you win games, you learn from the loss. You learn from the losses. You understand? You get better when something bad happens. You get better when the losses happen. So literally just have that mentality of like, yo, when this bad form ends, I'm gonna come out the other side a better player. You understand? I'm gonna learn how to deal with bad form better, and then this won't ever happen again. Because I know for me, for example, after those 6 or 7 games, it's probably never happened to me. It's never happened to me again where I've gone 6 or 7 games with absolutely sticking out the place. Nah, it's never happened. Maybe one, maybe 2. Maybe 1 bad game and then 2 average games. But then after that, back to playing at my best. You understand? So yeah, and obviously it helped me now, because now I'm teaching it on YouTube. Now I'm teaching people, yo, how to actually get out of that bad form. So you know what I'm saying? I learned a lot. I learned a lot from that phase, and it's like, yo, now I'm teaching it. So hey, I'm actually looking back and I'm like, yo, I'm grateful that I went through that bad form, because now I can teach people how to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's the vid for today. That's how you get out of bad form as a footballer. That's how you get out of a rut. yeah, I hope you enjoyed the vid. I've been JT, and I'm out.